insane. You make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel.
Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Dysfunction-Junction. I'm your host, Kim, and I'm going to ramble on for the next 30 minutes about absolutely nothing because, once again, I've got nothing prepared. I'm sorry. I have good intentions. I really do. And no one listens to this thing anyway. It's just me. I'm rambling to myself. There's like 3 people that listen. So those 3 people will just have to deal. I don't know what to say. But I'm going to talk for the next 30 minutes about anything that just pops in my head. And trust me, it is going to be annoying and it's going to be boring. And it's just going to be something that you're just going to have to deal with. So this is episode 18. I almost thought about not even recording this episode because I didn't have anything to talk about. And there's not that many people that listen, but you know what? I am going to be true to those 3 or 4 people that listen faithfully every week, and just ramble on about whatever pops in my head. So today is the beginning of June. Yes, that's right. Today is Friday, June 1st. I'm recording my podcast. I have completely recorded and edited and everything by Monday. But because I am a professional, I will have it done. I'll do it. It is hot as heck here today. It is muggy. And I hate it. I hate humidity. Humidity sucks. And I don't care what anybody says, what comic makes a joke about the difference between a dry heat and humidity. There is a difference. The dry heat is just hot air. Okay? It's hot. Yes, it is still hot. But when you have humidity and it's like you're walking through water, you're actually breathing in air. Not to mention, it frizzes my hair. And that's the worst part about it. Humidity sucks. But that being said, the best thing about this week is that T-ball is finally over. I've never been so happy for sport to be over. Now, listen, all my other moms out there, the 3 that are listening, answer me this question. When your kid is playing a sport, do you secretly wish that it would rain that day or pray for some sort of catastrophic event just so you either A, don't have to go to practice or B, don't have to attend a game? Look, you want to see your kid, play in a game, do great. But when you're a working mom, I should say, well, all moms are working moms, whether you work in the home or you work outside of the home. So let me just stop whatever sentence I'm going to say. Once you've been doing whatever you have been doing all day, if you are staying at home with your kids and you've washed laundry all day, you've cleaned house, you've, worked on the yard, done whatever it is that you're doing as ran the kids to appointments, ran the kids to play dates, ran the kids to this, ran the To be quite honest, some days you don't want to leave the house because you're tired, you've been running around all day, you don't want to leave again, or if you work outside of the house, you've been at work all day, once you get home and take that bra off, you don't want to go back out. My husband knows. That's the first thing I do when I get home. If we have plans after work and he sees me heading down towards that bedroom, he'll say, "Leave your bra on, we have to go back out." And I'm like, damn it. This sucks. Oh. It's back. Thank God I just kept going because it's back. Anyway, what was I talking about? Wicked ADD moment. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, end of the year is coming, which means all of the end of the year stuff's happening. Field day, concerts, assemblies. Piper's going to be going into 6th grade next year. Jared's going to be a senior, and I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for Jared to leave. My little Aspie baby, I love him. Academically, he's going to be amazeballs. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the social skills. The people around here aren't the same as people from the big city. And he wants to go to school, in New Hampshire. And I'm just worried that he's going to say the wrong thing to somebody down there. Girls down there don't play. They'll cut a person. They don't play like that. They'll take you out in a heartbeat. So I'm worried. But it's something that I'm going to have to work on. I will have to work through it and trust him. I can't be with and what I have to remember is that even when you have a child or as a person, whoever doesn't have a disability like Asperger's or autism or anything like that, we're all going to say stupid stuff. We're all going to put our foot in our mouth. I've done it before more than once, and I'm sure I'll do it again because lots of times I think I'm being funny and he's the same way. He goes for shock value, laugh factor, and lots of times we're just not funny. We're just being a douche. Not purposely, but it's happening. Anyway, and then Noah Balboa will be going his third year of college, which he's absolutely miserable at the school that he's at. But what are you going to do? He'll make it through. I believe in him. He's a fighter like his mama. What else did I want to talk about? I did Father's Day is coming up. And I don't know what I'm going to get the hubs for Father's Day. We do the same thing for Father's Day that we do for Mother's Day. It's not like it's this big thing because we pretty much get each other whatever we want during the year anyway. But I would like to do something nice for him. But it's really hard because I don't want to say he's in control of all the finances because that's not true. I mean, we talk about, what bills need to be paid and what needs to be taken care of and what's going here and what's going there and what we're, that sort of thing. But he's the one that, pays all the bills. He's always in the checking account. So it's not, and we share a checking account. We have nothing separate. So it's not like I can go in there and just take money out and surprise, he budgets everything right down to the penny. Seriously, penny. So there's no surprise factor. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Any thoughts would be greatly, greatly appreciated. The one thing I have been thinking about, though, and I will get back to the Father's Day thing because I know it's coming up, and I did a whole Mother's Day thing, but it was a lot of work, and I don't know if that's what you guys wanted to hear, if you enjoyed it. The 3 people that are listening, please let me know if you want to hear a little bit more about Father's Day and different ways they're celebrated in other states. I did think I read somewhere that Father's Day is not the same and the same day in England. I could be wrong. But like I said, but things are so crazy here. I haven't had a lot of time. I know that's an excuse, but it's the truth. But I will get back to the whole Father's Day thing because I would like to do something nice for my husband. He drives me crazy. It's really hard to take the good with the bad sometimes. So, my husband he's a good dad. He's a great husband. But this is what I struggle with sometimes. He's a great husband and a good dad in a sense that, he's the dad, he's the husband that he'll do the laundry, he'll cook the dinner, he takes the kids to appointments, he runs errands, he'll do yard work. But he's also the same guy who will complain about all of his aches and pains and boo-boos, and that kind of, makes all the good things that he does kind of go away because that's kind of not cool. Anybody else feel that pain? Am I alone here? Am I just being selfish? Because I hear my girlfriends at work talk about their husbands and you know, how they wish they would do more. You know, they wouldn't have to harp on them about doing the dishes or helping with the laundry or helping with the kids or I have one girlfriend who, you know, if her kids are sick, she's the one who always has to take time off, and the husband either he can't do it or he won't do it. So I'm so lucky in that sense. You know, he does a lot around the house and he does a lot for the kids. But I can't, the complaining, I just can't do it. It bothers me. So, but I got to take the good with the bad. You can't, you know, you don't get to pick and choose, I guess. If you love a person, you have to accept all of them, the good and the bad. And I do. Even when he drives me nuts, he's probably listening right now. And if he is, at some point, he will use this against me in a fight. Do you guys ever have go-tos that you use when you're in an argument with your significant other, whether it be your wife or your girlfriend or your husband or your boyfriend or your partner or whatever labels that you guys, you know, choose to use? What is your go-to? Now, my husband's go-to is, "You're just like your mother." Now, if my mother's listening, that might come back to haunt me. Not that it's a bad thing that I'm like my mother, but I'm sure, you know, he knows that is what's going to get me. He knows that I hate that. So that's his go-to. My go-to is, if you don't like it, there's the door. You can get the heck out. That's my go-to. So what's your go-to? Is your go-to, you know, we're going to get a divorce? Is your go-to, you know, this, you know, I never should have got married. My mother warned me about you. Is it, you know, are you the couple that, you know, really puts each other down and degrades each other? Or I'm interested. Tell me, what is it like? What's it like being married to you? How do you guys fight? Do you guys fight in front of your kids? Do you go into another room and argue? What is it? Like, my husband and I, we bicker a lot. We debate each other a lot. But it's not big, huge fights all the time. We have one really good fight, like every 6 months. Because what happens is you hold it in. Lots of times, like, I like to pick my battles. I've said that before. And lots of times I won't say anything or things that make me mad. But I don't hold a lot of things in either. So by the time we do have because if something's bothering me, if you're ticking me off, I'm going to say, you know, whatever you said the other day really hurt my feelings. I didn't appreciate it. We need to talk about this. And usually he'll apologize because usually he's wrong, and we'll move on and we'll get over it. Some things, you know, just don't bother me. And I just had a ADD moment because I heard the door move, and I don't know if someone's trying to come in or what, but I've only been talking for 16 minutes. I still have 16 more minutes to go. So now I forgot what I was talking about. Damn it. Stupid ADHD. What was I talking about? Now, see, if I had a live call-in show, you guys would be able to tell me. Were we talking about husbands and wives arguing and stuff? I know, I told you, I'm all over the place today. Like I said, the 3 people who are listening are faithful, and they're not going to care. They're going to listen anyway. So that's how I feel about it. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Because I'm still on keto, and I can't have anything sweet. So I am trying to get my sweet fix by having a cup of coffee with some whole whipping cream and my erythritol. I like that stuff. That's a story for another time. I don't know what I was talking about before. So I know it was about husbands. Oh, look, I was going to say, we only have fights, like really big fights, like maybe 2 times a year, every 6 months. Most of the time, like I said, I don't hold things in, but not a whole lot really bothers me. So if something is bothering me, I will straight out say, like I said before, what you said this day hurt my feelings. I didn't appreciate it, yada, yada. He apologizes because he's wrong, and then we move on. He doesn't express his feelings at all. So usually when we get a big fight, it's because something little has set him off, and then he'll just go for like whatever's made him mad over the last 6 months and just spew and spew and spew. And my husband, who will be total, he'll tell you straight up, he's verbally challenged. He not do well when he is in a confrontation or he has to speak in front of others, and lots of times he'll have a lot of verbal diarrhea, and the things that he says are can be hurtful or unnecessary, but it's because he is trying to prove a point and he is hurting and he is trying to show me verbally how bad he is hurting, and sometimes that can be a big mess, but we always seem to work it out and move on. It's been 10 years and we're still here. So there, that's that. That was something else that I wanted to talk about, but because I'm having wicked ADHD today and I'm unprepared, I don't know what else that I wanted to say about that situation. But if you guys would be so kind as to leave me a SpeakPipe message, let me know, how do you guys fight? What do you guys do? What is your go-to? What is that one thing that you use to just stick it to him just because you're mad and you know that it's gonna bother him? Let's face it. We're all basically good people, but we get mad and we want to get even. We want that person to hurt as badly as we're hurting, and we will do whatever we have to make sure that we hurt that person. Is it right? No. Do we feel bad about it later? Yes. It's taken me a long time to think first, react later. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about? I kind of want to talk about, I don't know how much time I have to talk about this, but I kind of want to talk about mental illness a little bit. Mental illness really affects my family. It not only affects me personally. I've suffered from anxiety and depression my entire life, but my mom also suffers from it. So, me and my brothers and sisters, we were a product of that. Whatever she was going through, however she was feeling, we felt it too. And because I have it, my kids have it. It's just something, I think it's genetic. And I think I've said this before, that I truly believe, that anxiety and depression and that sort of thing is a chemical imbalance in your brain. And just like a vitamin deficiency, if you're missing a vitamin, you take a supplement for whatever it is that you need, and you're good. It's the same thing I feel with a chemical imbalance. You're missing something in your brain, you take a pill, and you feel better. And I'm sure it's. Please don't tell me. Don't think, the 3 people that are listening, that I'm saying that that pill is going to fix it all. But it does. It helps, along with counseling and anything else that you may need. But my two of my kids, like I said, they do take anxiety meds and they go to counseling, and they're doing really, really good. I really wish that I would have had some sort of counseling or medication when I was a kid. I think it really would have helped me. It would have helped me focus better, I think, in school. It would have helped me with relationships that I had with other people. And I hope that I am breaking the cycle with my children. But one thing that I wanted to talk about is that, and I hope I didn't mess up something by just hitting that button that I hit. But my oldest is having a really hard time. And this happens every summer, it seems, because he's home for the summer. He's missing the kids at school, the freedom he had at school where he could just walk wherever he wanted to. do whatever he wanted to, come and go as he pleases. And he can still do that if he chooses. But, we live out in the country and it's just not that easy to walk places. So I think he gets a little, I don't want to say seasonal depression, but he gets it every summer. And he's, really struggled with this his entire life. We've been to counseling. He hasn't found one that he's comfortable with, which can be, different. You really need to find somebody who you're compatible with. We've tried medication. He's not faithful with taking it as well as he should be. And then when he does take it, I do not think it helps him in the way that it should. But what do you do when your children? When they're little, like Piper and Jared, you can make sure that they take their medication. You can make sure that they go to counseling. You make sure that they're doing the things that they need to do. But what do you do when your child is older and you no longer have control of that? What do you do? All we can do is, make sure they're aware of what they need to do. Make sure that, they have the opportunities. What's the word I'm looking for? How am I trying to, you give them the skills that they need to get the help that they need. Because he's 21. It's not easy for me to just call and make appointments for him. It is not that easy anymore. And then I can make the appointment, but I can't make him go. I can't make him take his medication. I can't make him talk to me. And it's tough. It's, it's really tough when you can't kiss the boo-boo anymore and make it go away. And I'm really struggling with that right now because that's all I want to do. I just want to hug him and hold him and tell him everything's going to be fine. Mom's going to fix it. We're going to take care of it. And I just don't think that works anymore. And to be quite honest, I don't think he believes me anymore. Mental health is a real struggle. Your brain is so strong and so powerful, and it can make you believe things that just aren't true. It makes you, and I've been there. I will tell the story sometime of when, I was pregnant with Piper and my depression was so bad that I literally kicked my husband out of the house and thought, the reason why I'm feeling this way is because I don't love him anymore. It must be him. And then once he was gone, I still felt like crap. It wasn't him. It was me. And that's another reason why, he's such a great guy. Most guys would have said, screw you, lady, I'm out of here. But he didn't. He stayed. And he took care of me. And he took care of my kids. And, he's a good guy. No matter what I say, no matter how much I vent, he's a good man. Don't tell him I said that. And if you do, I'll deny it. Just saying. But what do you do when your child is struggling as an adult? I don't want, my biggest fear is that he's going to go down the path. But both of my boys, they're both aware that their biological father is an alcoholic and that his alcoholism is a symptom of his mental illness, and they're well aware that they could go down that road, and it scares the hell out of me. It really does, because when they're away at school or living in a different state or living their life or doing whatever, you have no control over what they're doing, who they're with, who they're doing it with. And it scares me because I know firsthand that when you're depressed or you're anxious and you're in that moment, that you will do absolutely anything to make those feelings go away. I can remember when I was pregnant with my daughter and I was going through that hard time and sitting in my shower and just crying and throwing up and crying and throwing up, trying to get whatever was inside of me out. and of course nothing I did helped me. Not until after I had my daughter and I was able to get back on my medication that I actually started to feel better. So if anybody is out there, the 3 people that are listening, if you have been through this or you know somebody who's been through this with an older child, and if they were successful, let me know. Share it on my Facebook page, share it in the group, send me a SpeakPipe message, send me an email, anything, leave it on my website. I would be so happy to hear about how you dealt with it, what you did, what was successful, what wasn't successful. I just don't want, my son to fall through the cracks. I don't want him to miss opportunities because he's anxious or depressed or he feels he isn't good enough, because he is good enough and he's very smart. But sometimes issues with mental illness like anxiety and depression can really hold you back from being the person that you're meant to be. And he doesn't see it right now because he's living it. But as a person that's on the outside looking in at him, I know that he's going through these experiences because he is meant to help other people. And he needs to go through it. He needs to live it so that he can relate to people later on, to be able to write a screenplay about it, write a TV show about it, a movie, a documentary, a book, a play, whatever it is that he is meant to do. He needs to live it so that he can be successful at helping other people later on. Oh, goodness. And I thought I didn't have anything to talk about. Lies. All lies. I'm going to be wrapping this up in a minute because it's getting late. Da, 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 da. I just want you to know. It's taken way too long for me to look up this other information, but don't forget, all my main people, I got an event coming up, and all of this stuff will be on my website for you to go and look it up. In July, we have two great bands that are coming to the Hosanna Oxford Church. They're Christian bands. They are contemporary Christian bands. They're not, it's not the band at my church that's going to be singing hymns, which we don't just sing hymns at church, just so you know. We're hip too. We're hip to the game. But anyway, 2 contemporary bands, JJ Weeks and Austin French, are going to be there. I'm going to be there. The family's going to be there. To the 3 people who listen, if you want to come check it out, meet me. Woo woo. I'm not a celebrity, but I'm pretty cool to hang out with. If you want to come and check these guys out, we're going to have a great time. The tickets are $15 a piece. I cannot remember when the doors open or even the date, but it'll be on my website. Everything's right there. Visit my website. There's a link there where you can go. You can buy tickets. It's going to be amazing. Part of the proceeds are going to go to our teen church, so we really hope to see you there. We hope you can make it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for letting me ramble on. I knew that once I started talking, other things would pop in my head. But because, ADHD struggle is real, people. I know I'm all over the place, and I hope the 3 people that are listening, can bear with me. I just want to, and like I've said before, I don't want this podcast. I want to be able to do my podcast full time and be able to, support my family? Absolutely. But I know that's going to take a while. Right now, I just want to make people laugh. I just want to make people know that, you're not the only one who's going through whatever you're going through. You name it, I've dealt with it or dealing with it. Mental illness, drugs and alcohol, adoption, Asperger's, autism, LGBTQ, being a Christian, dealing with young kids, older kids, working, being a working mom outside of the home, being a working mom inside of the home. I know what it's like to be divorced and be married. And I just want to be able to help, even if it's just one person. If the 3 people that are listening are enjoying my show and those 3 people are going to come back every week and listen, then I'm going to continue to do this podcast just for those 3 people. So, but I would like to reach other people. I want to make a difference. My pastor says that we all have a gift, whether it's singing in the choir, preaching to the young children, having a listening ear, or whatever it is. We all have a gift. And I think my gift is this, running my mouth. It had to be good for something. I love to talk. I love to talk to people. I like to hear what people are doing. I want to relate to people. Whenever I was going through the things that I was going through, especially like I just talked about my issues that I had when I was pregnant with Piper. One of the biggest things that helped me was, and again, I will get back to the story. At one point, I was in the emergency room in the crisis department. I was suffering that badly. And the person they sent in to talk to me, I truly think God sent her to me, was a woman who said she had just been through the same thing. She had severe postpartum depression after she had her last child. She was on the verge of divorce with her husband because she was that messed up at the time. But it was that woman telling me, I have been there. I have been in your shoes. I know how you're feeling. And there is help. There is hope. You will make it through this. First of all, you're not a bad person. You're not a bad mother. You're not a bad wife. You're just sick right now and you need help. And it really is no different than if you, had a disease like a cancer. This is not something that you choose to have. This is, you're born this way. So if there's anybody out there that is listening, or the 3 people that are listening, and you think that this podcast or me personally will have an effect on somebody else and make them feel better and let them know that, I believe you. I believe your struggle. I believe that you're hurting, and I believe that there's a way out. Whether it's with mental illness, whether it's divorce, whether it's dealing with a child who has Asperger's, or, coming to terms with the fact that your child is gay, or anything, whatever life throws at you, it's okay. And it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. It really is. It's okay to feel guilty or to feel ashamed. That's normal. Whatever it is. Somebody asked me that, they want me to elaborate a little bit more about, what it's like being a Christian woman and having a son who's gay, and I'll get into that another time at one point too. But, when your child first tells you that, there's a little bit of mourning, so to speak, for lack of a better word. And it's not the part that they're gay. That's not it. It's the fact that the dreams that you had, or that you had envisioned for them, you mourn that part. It feels like a loss, that the dreams that you had for them, specific dreams, are different now. Well, at the time you think that they're gone, but they're not gone. They're just different. They just changed, So, and it's okay to feel that way. It's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a person. It makes you a human being. And right or wrong, your feelings are your feelings, and you shouldn't be judged for feeling that way. For certain things, anyway. But, okay, for somebody who felt like she didn't have anything to say, I have rambled on for too long. I need to wrap it up. I thank you guys for listening. Thank you for letting me vent to you today, guys. This is how I feel like I'm just chatting with my girlfriends, chatting with my friends. I don't know if there's any dudes listening, but dudes, if you're listening, if you're one person of the 3 people, thank you for listening. It would be nice to get a dude's point of view too about some of the things that, we deal with. dudes, if you have a child who was, gay or lesbian or transgender, how did you feel? How did you deal with it? Do you have a child who has mental illness? How does it make you feel? This is supposed to be a comedy show. It's not. I say funny things sometimes, but it's not. I wanted it to be, but it's not going that way. It's really just talk. It's just like Dear Diary type of thing. What are you going to do? Anyway, to you 3 people who are listening, thank you. Thank you for listening. If you please follow us on all of our social media pages. You can connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/dysfunction-junction, and of course on our Facebook group page at facebook.com/groups/DF podcast. If you prefer Twitter, you can find us at twitter.com/dysfunction-mom. And for all you Instagram peeps, you can look us up at instagram.com/dysfunction-7. If you want to leave me a message, you can leave me a SpeakPipe message. You can find that again on my website at www.dfpodcast.com. If you like what you hear, please share it with your friends. If you don't like what you hear and you want to share with them how crazy I sound, that's okay too. Share away. I'm easy breezy. Find me on what was I going to say? Again, ADD moment. I'm going to have a little jingle, a little button. It's going to say ADD moment. Ding, ding. You've had an ADD moment. Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, oh my God, I have problems. I wonder why my kids are so messed up. Hello. Anyway, share me, people. Okay, I've been talking a lot. If you like what you hear, and you want to hear more, you want to keep this up, remember it is free for you, but it is not free for me. If you want to go to my Patreon page and donate $1, I would really appreciate it. You can find us at patreon.com/dysfunction-junction. And what else? Oh, and listen, I don't know how you guys are listening. I don't know if you're on my website, if you're on Stitcher.com, Spreaker.com. I'm on the Google Play Store. I got my own app, people. You can listen to me anytime, anywhere, on the go, in your car, at home, at your friend's home, at your boyfriend's house, at your other boyfriend's house, that your boyfriend that you have in public doesn't know about the other boyfriend that you have. You can listen to me anywhere. It's free for you, but not free for me. So if you want, I don't know, maybe you guys don't want me to keep it up. That's why nobody goes there. Well, too bad there are 3 people who are listening who want to hear me. And one of them I know pays $5. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for letting me ramble. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
You make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel, insane. You make me crazy, insane. That's how I feel,